What's up, guys? I'm Youngster Skamor, and we have got a Pokemon Direct incoming. I'm super excited. I actually haven't talked about Pokemon Sword and Shield on my channel yet because I hadn't been doing YouTube for a while, and I just sort of started again about maybe a week or two ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So before we talk about this Direct, I'm going to talk about what I think about Pokemon Sword and Shield so far, just for a hot minute. I know it seems like a lot of people were disappointed in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the reveal, but I'm actually really excited for it. I really love how the region looks. I know some people maybe thought that it could have looked better. The game could have looked better, graphically wise, I guess. Considering it's a home console game now, a $60 home console game, and maybe that they think that it could have had a bigger scope or something, like a camera you can move around with the right stick. And while we don't definitely know that won't happen, it seems like that isn't the case. But I don't know. I don't really know if I think that Pokemon would work as well with the right stick camera. I kind of like the always top is north orientation, the way that works with maps. For some reason, that's just something that really appeals to me. But I couldn't really say if that would be good or not because I've never played a Pokemon game where you can move the camera with the right stick. So maybe that would be great. I guess I just don't really know. But I'm not disappointed that that doesn't seem to be the case. And I think the region does look really good. I think when Pokemon went to 3D from Gen 5 to Gen 6, they kind of lost something in... I feel that the regions don't look... Or, not the regions, but different areas of the regions, like the environments, don't look as unique in Gen 6 and Gen 7. But based on what we've seen in Gen 8 so far, in the Galar region... Is that how it is? I think that's how it's pronounced. It seems to look really good. A lot of the areas look really unique that we saw and really appealing, and especially compared to Gen 7 when pretty much a lot of the stuff looked the same. I feel like it's definitely a big improvement in my eyes, so I'm super excited about that. The starters, on the other hand, I don't know. We've had a lot of time to think about them, and my initial impressions are kind of the same as what they are now. Is that I'm not a huge fan of the starters, relatively speaking, compared to other Pokemon. I have this thing where I feel like, oh, I'm a Pokemon trainer. I love all Pokemon, no matter how their design is. And whenever I am using a Pokemon on my team, I'll love it, no matter whether I initially like its design or not. But just from a design perspective, I'm not a huge fan of the starters. It's also a little bit weird that they're kind of small. I feel like all the other starters are bigger, but these guys are really small, which I guess is something new. But Scorbunny, you know, I just don't like the Band-Aid. And then the design overall isn't really, it's just not one of my favorite designs. And Sobble is alright, but I don't really love that he's sad all the time. Some people really like that. They feel like he's their spirit animal. But Grookey, on the other hand, his design's good. It's not I don't know. I don't even like love his design. But in the trailer, how he goes donk, donk, donk with the stick, he's like banging the stick against the rock, and he scares Sobble away. And that makes me feel like he's a drummer. And also his name is Grookey, which you'd think might just be Grass Monkey, but then where's the ooh come in? And I feel like it's probably Groove Monkey. I don't know if we actually know any details about their names. Maybe we do. Maybe that's confirmed, but I feel like it's probably Groove Monkey. By the way, what was that? That's confirmed. I said that really weird. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like it's Groove Monkey, which makes it seem more likely that he is based on a drummer, which is really cool to me. Since I'm a drummer, I play the drums, so now I feel like he's my spirit animal, so I really want to pick Grookey now. You know, I'm always just tapping, like I'm drumming along whenever I hear music, even when I'm not hearing music, so Grookey is someone I relate to, so probably going to pick him. Then again, we don't know if we're going to see their evolutions or not before the game comes out, so who knows, that could change if we see their evolutions, but as of now, leaning towards Grookey. Well, let's talk about the Direct itself. I think it's worth mentioning that this is pretty rare, or not rare, this is a first time thing for the Pokemon Company. Not that there's a Direct, we've had Pokemon Directs before. There's 3 that I can think of. We had the one in early 2017 that was about 7 minutes long, and it announced Pokemon Sun and Moon. We had the one in the middle of 2017 that was also right before E3 that announced Red and Blue coming to the Virtual Console. It announced Pokémon Tournament for Switch, and I think it confirmed the existence. Oh no, never mind. I think actually it was E3 that confirmed the existence of an RPG. Oh, you know what was announced at that direct? It was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was also announced at that direct. But then about a week later at E3, they confirmed the existence of a core RPG coming to Switch because people were disappointed that that the game was coming to 3DS and not Switch. And then in when was it? Earlier this year, we had, of course, the direct that was also around 7 minutes long that announced Pokemon Sword and Shield. But we've never had a Pokemon Direct for a specific Pokemon game that we already know about beforehand. So we never had a Pokemon Direct go in depth and give us a bunch of new information about a game that we already know about. So I'm really excited about this. It's 15 minutes long. It specifically says, tune in for roughly 15 minutes of new information on Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield for Nintendo Switch in a live-streamed Pokemon Direct presentation. So it is specifically about Pokemon Sword and Shield, so they're probably not going to have any other games. It is probably going to be 15 minutes of Sword and Shield, which is really awesome. I think that's a lot of time for them to give us a lot of information. I know Pokemon Company is known for fluff in their directs. Like that Sun and Moon one, for example, was what, 6-7 minutes long, and it literally only gave us the titles and the logos and a couple other things. It didn't just give us titles and logos, but it gave us very little information. It didn't give us any new Pokemon, really. It didn't give us any look at gameplay. But that being said, so I do predict that there probably will be some fluff here. But since we already know these games exist, I feel like there can't be that much fluff. I think it is going to be mostly good, concrete information. Probably a lot less fluff than in past directs. But I still think there'll probably be a little, it wouldn't be the Pokemon Direct if it didn't have some fluff. I also, I feel like Pokemon tends in the past, like in Gen 6 and Gen 7, I don't really know about before that, because in Gen 5 it was released in Japan first, so I kind of knew everything about the game before it came out. And then before that, I didn't follow Pokemon during the hype cycles. But in Gen 6 and Gen 7, I feel like Pokemon has revealed way too much about the games before they've come out, and we have no reason to believe that trend won't continue, because they did the same thing with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. They announced post-game stuff before the game even released, so like stuff that would have been cool secrets to find. So I don't think that I'm going to follow this game's media cycle once it comes close to release. Honestly, maybe even after E3 I'll just stop, but I don't know, that's still pretty far away. But I think definitely by maybe the end of August, or I guess whenever I feel like I have enough information, I'm gonna probably try not to watch the last couple of trailers like for the last few months, because I don't want to know too much about the games going in. I'd rather it be less of a surprise. But we know very little about the game so far, so I think it's perfectly. I don't think I'm gonna regret watching this, that they're gonna reveal too much or anything like that, because it is still very early. It's still 5 months before the game comes out, at least. I don't think they've told us a date, but they say late 2019, right? Also, I think that there have been some leaks for these games. I've heard that some Pokemon have gotten leaked, but I have not been following that because I don't want to see the leaks. Because, like I said, don't want to be spoiled. So, if I don't really know, I don't know the details of them, whether they're legit or not. But just that those are not going to be factors in my predictions or anything like that. For the most part, there's one exception that I'll talk about in a second. But what else do I think? What do I think is going to be here in this direct? It is really hard to say because this is kind of unprecedented. But one thing that I think is a really safe bet is the legendaries. The box cover legendaries that have been in every Pokemon game since Gold and Silver on the boxes. That's usually something we know about pretty early. So I think that it's a very safe bet that we'll see the box legendaries in this direct. I think they'll be shown either in the beginning or maybe at the end. I think they'll be shown, and then right after they're shown, they'll be shown with the boxes if it's at the end. Whereas if they're shown in the beginning, I think the legendaries will be shown, but then they probably still won't show the boxes until the end. But I guess it's possible that they'll show, like, right to start the direct, they'll show the legendaries to start the direct, and then they'll show the boxes. But I think they'll probably save that for the end. I think we will definitely get other new Pokemon other than the legendaries, like maybe like 2 or 3 or something like that. Maybe more, I don't know. And I think another big prediction is I think that we will get a new mechanic that involves past Pokemon, akin to Mega Evolution and Alolan forms that we had in Gen 6 and 7, respectively. I think that there will be something like that in this game, so that essentially gives us new types or forms or whatever you want to call of old Pokemon. And I think that that will be shown in this Direct. Now, here's the one exception to the leaks. There is a leak that I kind of accidentally heard. I don't know if this is legit, but I've heard that it seems fairly legit. I don't know, but just a warning in case you want to hear this. There's a lot of speculation about there being armored Pokemon. I haven't really looked into it that much, but that is something that people have been talking about. So I think that is definitely very possible for that to be the thing. That makes sense. That seems like something that could happen, especially because Sword and Shield is literally Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I think that there already is like some mention of an armored Pokemon in either the anime or the cards or something, and which maybe they just did that a little too early. They probably should have waited a bit, because that sort of stuff coincides usually with the game and the card game and the anime. Obviously, the anime and the card game have their own things sometimes, but also a lot of their stuff coincides with the the video games. And I think it's called Sword and Shield, so armor seems like a perfect thing that would fit this theme. The region's based on England. They had knights in shining armor, so that definitely seems like a likely candidate. But even if that's not the thing, I think there will be that thing in this Direct. But I think it probably will be armored Pokemon, given all the hints all the fingers that are pointed in that direction, I guess. I had to stop recording for a sec, but apparently there's a Pokemon conference tonight that is probably not going to have anything about Sword and Shield. If it does, this video might be a bit redundant, but that is likely why they announced this Direct so early, because it is not coming for over a week, because most Directs are announced just a day or two before, but that's probably why this one was so early, so that people don't get their hopes up for the Pokemon conference tonight. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, another thing that I think would be cool is a new Pokemon type. However, I do not think that will happen. Just something that is possible would happen. Would be very cool, but not something I'm going to predict. Predict that's not going to happen. I guess that's pretty easy to predict things that aren't going to happen. You're probably going to be right about them, but just thought I'd throw that out there. I think it's also pretty likely that they're going to go into too much detail about, or not too much detail, but a weird amount of detail about some sort of new mechanic or a new thing in the game for Pokemon Sword and Shield that isn't that big of a mechanic, that also is one of those things that will not be in Gen 9, that's specific to Gen 8. Pokemon's always got those weird things that are around for a game and then aren't anymore. I think they're going to go like kind of weirdly in depth into one of those. I just think that would be funny. And I think we're going to see some new characters, including a gym leader. We do know there are gyms. That wasn't completely clear from the trailer, but the Pokemon Sword and Shield website, after the game was announced, confirmed that there will be gyms and that you will be on a quest to become champion. And a lot of the time, by the way, I am really, really glad gyms are coming back. That's definitely a change I did not like in Sun and Moon. I'm not opposed to changing the formula, but I think the way they did it was not very good, so I'm definitely glad that they're changing back to how it was. I think gyms are a very important landmark battle that needs to happen in a Pokemon game. Those types of landmark battles do need to happen. But Pokemon does like to show, and even with Sun and Moon they did it with the trial leaders, or whatever they're called. Pokemon does generally like to reveal a few gym leaders fairly early. So I think we're going to see at least one gym leader tomorrow. I think they're going to also talk about gyms, because they said it on the website, but they didn't make it clear in the past Direct. So I think they're going to be clear, like mention gyms. So they're going to confirm gyms are back, and I think those like arena things maybe. I haven't looked too in depth into the map. Like some people have really analyzed the map, and like I think they kind of know what the gyms are, but I didn't really follow that, so I wanted to be a little bit more surprised. I'm going to say that I think those arena things that we saw in the last trailer are probably going to be gyms, but I don't know. I don't know if they're all going to look like that. Probably that was just one gym. Maybe that was like sports themed, but maybe the other gyms will also be arenas sort of, but they won't be themed like typical sports arenas. They'll be very different, like a cool dragon arena with a bunch of people watching you, or a fire pit with a bunch of people around watching you. It is kind of strange that there's all those people watching you, and there's probably not even that many people in the region, but I don't know. That's just one of those things, I suppose, about video games. And then in addition to the gym leader that they'll show, they'll probably reveal a couple other characters that are not gym leaders. Maybe the professor we'll see. Maybe a rival. Not sure. But I think those are definitely some likely possibilities. I think we're also going to see... I think it's also pretty likely that we'll see the town that we started and our house. Maybe our mother. And that sort of... Oh, no, we saw that. What am I talking about? We saw the house already. Alright, let me amend that. I think it's pretty possible that we'll see a closer look at the town we started. Like, you know, there might be a person saying, like, this is something town. Like, that sort of thing. Like, detailing the start of our adventure. That's just a little prediction I'll throw out there. But I think that's about it. I don't want to go too crazy with predicting all these sorts of things because, you know, what do we really know? But let me know what you guys think will be shown in this direct. Make some predictions of your own down below. And also just let me know if you're excited. Let me know what you thought of the initial Sword and Shield reveal, since I never made a video about that. I never got to hear what you guys think. So please let me know about that if you have opinions of your own, which I'm sure you do. But I am super excited for this. It's still 8 days away, so we definitely got some time to wait. I don't know if there'll be anything revealed tonight. Maybe there will be. Probably not. But, you know, I'll be there for my live reactions. And by the way, Bakugan video should be coming tomorrow. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.